Hello and welcome to the A-Dub Club. I'm Whipple for all of y'alls that don't know me. I have a few quick housekeeping-y type announcements before the episode actually starts. First of which, an apology. We realize that we haven't been posting or doing anything for about 6 months or so, and we are sorry. The main reason for that is that it's just really, really, really hard to do video things from across the country, and so we have decided to, as you may have already noticed, go for audio-only form podcasts. Yay! The way of the future. Not actually, but it's just a whole lot easier to do podcasts over Skype than it is to do video. Since it's a podcast, there may be some changes in your routine if you want to listen to the A-Dub Club. If you are the kind of person that doesn't like change, you can just keep listening to us on YouTube, because for the near future, our plan is to keep releasing these as the audio for videos and then put some fun photos and stuff on the background to entertain all y'all as you listen. So that's one option. The other thing that you can do is go to our new website, which is theawclub.tumblr.com. That's THEAWCLUB, all one word, because the A-Dub Club was taken by a person who doesn't ever post, so we went for that one instead. You can find there the links to the MP3s of each of these episodes that you can download and listen to at your leisure. Also on that website for your infotainment is we'll have links to news articles and to geeky stories and to videos and to reviews and all sorts of fun stuff. So keep checking that website because fun stuff's going to happen. The third and most exciting way that you can listen to us is you can do it through iTunes. Yes, I know, it makes it almost like we're official or something. You can go to iTunes and find the A-Dub Club and subscribe and download and do all of that fun stuff, and then listen to it on whatever device you so choose. So, yeah, that is the changes for the podcast, and so you can enjoy that. One other little apology thing before actually launching into the episode for reals. This is the first time that we ever did an audio recording, and we kind of, well, no, not we, I kind of screwed up on the recording. It got compressed way too much and sounds really bad, and in all of my wisdom, I did not save the backup uncompressed copy, so the audio quality of this episode is pretty terrible. I have done as much as I can to make it sound good again, but it's still a little bit unpleasant. So if you give up and decide not to listen because it's so bad, I would not begrudge you in the slightest. But for those of you brave, adventurous souls that do trek all the way through, don't worry, there will be a better episode in the near future once I learn from my mistake and don't overcompress and delete things. But yeah, that is all of the news that needs to be dealt with up front. Enjoy this episode where we talk about The Lord of the Rings and a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, enjoy the A-Dub Club in its new audio-only form.
Welcome, one and all, to A-Dub Club.
Woo! Exciting. Woo! You may notice something a little different. You can't see us this time, which
What?
is... I know. That is because it's really hard to do any video things from across the country. And so, well, both hard and also takes effort, and we are lazy people. So,
also, you probably don't want to see me in my underwear right now.
Yeah, that's true. And my room is a mess, so there you go. This works fine. But yeah, it's a podcast, and probably once I figure out how to, like, do all of the uploading and blah, 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 I'll probably put a little thing at the beginning of this podcast before it starts explaining how to find it, which actually, if you're listening to this, you already heard that, so whatever. Whatever. I'll either cut this out or leave it in and have there be weird timey-wimey repercussions.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we are, A-Dub in podcast form.
Yes, and today, in this evening, because it's evening for me, we will be talking about Lord of the Rings.
Yes, indeed. In honor of that oh-so-great movie that is coming out, The Hobbit, which I'm excited
Less than
for.
a week.
Less than a week. Probably less than a week at the time that we actually let you listen to this. But
yeah.
But yeah, I haven't gotten my midnight premiere tickets yet, but I'm going to do that tonight.
Oh, shite. That's what I should do, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for reminding me.
Because, of course, since we are geeky people, we are both going to be midnight premiering.
Oh, yes, of course.
Without a shadow of a doubt. even though I have my CS final is at noon the next day, I don't care. It would not be the first time that I've gone to a midnight premiere before a test. So, well, yeah, I'm excited.
I'm very pumped. Okay, so Lord of the Rings.
Yes,
everything about it. What do you want to talk about? Anything specific comes to mind?
Truth be told, I have a bit of a confession, a geek confession. I like Lord of the Rings a lot, so that's the disclaimer, is that Lord of the Rings is still amazing and wonderful and one of my favorite things. I don't like it nearly as much as some of my other friends do. Like, I enjoy it, but it's never, like, top of my list kind of thing. So I'm excited for The Hobbit, very excited, but not, like, dying with anticipation the same way that a lot of my friends are. And the way Killian, I'm sure.
And Killian, yes, of course. Shout out Killian.
Hola.
You better listen to it. I'm very excited. I never read the books, but recently I read The Hobbit. In preparation for Hobbit.
I read the books, and I actually liked The Hobbit more than Lord of the Rings in terms of the books. But, yeah. I mean, I liked the movies, but I'm the kind of person that won't watch the extended editions because they're too long, or if I do, I have to take a break.
Ooh.
I mean...
See, in my family, we only watch the extended edition, so whenever I see a movie that doesn't have the extended edition, I'm like, wait, your disc screwed up. It just skipped over a part of the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I was always a Star Wars kid. Like, that was my thing. That was my jam. More than Harry Potter, more than Lord of the Rings, more than any stuff. It was like Star Wars all day, every day. Whereas I know that I think there seems to be sort of schools of geekery where some people are crazy into one thing or another. And for me, it was always Star Wars and not as much Lord of the Rings. But that being said,
yeah, we would always play Lord of the Rings in our house just all the time. I think my aunt and their family, they have a tradition of watching all 3 Lord of the Rings.
Wow.
On Christmas, I'm pretty sure.
I have never done that. My brother has, not on Christmas, but he's done extended edition marathons, which I salute him for. I would never be able to handle that.
Okay, the Foxtrot. There's a fantastic
Foxtrot. I haven't read that in a while.
You never heard of Foxtrot?
No, I haven't read it in a while.
Okay, Foxtrot, great comic for those idiot people who don't know. Anyway, Foxtrot. So there's comments like, "Oh, Jason, I'm gonna go and watch a trilogy with my friends. We're gonna watch all 3 of them." It's like, oh, doesn't that take like 9 hours? Oh, you misinterpret. We're watching all 3 of them 3 times.
Trilogyception.
Godliness is achieved.
Absolutely. Yeah. Although then again, I was able to sit through all 3 Batman movies, which were awesome.
Anyway,
but that is an A-dub for another time.
I think we should elaborate on the awesomeness, at least in my opinion, the awesomeness of those sort of things.
All right, yeah. I mean, it is very, very cool, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, there's lots of crazy, expansive awesomeness. I'm not being very articulate today, am I?
No, you are not.
No. Wade, why don't you take the lead on this one?
So I guess I'll just start. The Lord of the Rings it's amazing because it's affected our culture so much.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Like every fantasy, I want to say just like every fantasy thing out there is like based on Lord of the Rings.
I would easily say that. Yeah. I mean, just the crazy world building, the intense mix, like the cool mix of serious and fantasy, and it's good. I mean, J.R.R. Tolkien certainly created something amazing, and that everyone else steals from.
I'm trying to think what were some creatures that he straight up created. So he created orcs. Did he create goblins? I'm not sure.
I feel like goblins have been around for a while, but I mean, he certainly
he's redefined what it means.
He created our definitions of them. Like elves before were tiny little creatures that go around and make cookies for people, and then instead they're like elves in Lord of the Rings.
Tall, elegant beings. Yeah, exactly. If someone said you're an elf, they would know exactly what that means.
Exactly, because of Lord of the Rings.
Because of Lord of the Rings,
and or the things that Lord of the Rings has spawned, like D&D and stuff like that.
D&D. World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Every single fantasy online MMO out there. Okay, what else about Lord of the Rings?
What else about Lord of the Rings? I do have to say, the movies are so good. They're really, really good. And that's why I'm excited for this movie, is just because, Peter Jackson, he does good work. He knows what he's doing.
He's amazing. You know, something I always found interesting was magic in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It's not like... It's like there, but it's not prevalent.
Yeah, which is interesting. It seems like it's kind of... I don't know. I don't want to say... It's not like in Harry Potter. Go check out our other video about magic in Harry Potter if you want to do that. But it's not like in Harry Potter where it's, it's there and it's a huge thing, but it's inconsistent and hand-wavy and, well, now we need him to be able to do this, so we're going to change the rules. Whereas in Lord of the Rings, it seems like there's a rule set, but it's never really explained, and it doesn't really matter. It's like magic is not... Magic sort of sets up the world, but doesn't really influence it on a day-to-day level the way it does in, like, Harry Potter or most other fantasy stuff.
Yeah, like... I don't know.
I don't see Gandalf going around throwing spells at people that often for a win.
Yeah. I just read The Hobbit, and I think Gandalf used magic, once.
Yeah.
And he's a wizard.
I mean, I'm trying to think of the times that Gandalf has used magic in the movies, because I don't remember the books. I've only read them once. It was a million years ago. But, he shines a cool beam of light at Helm's Deep, and he fights awesomely with his stick. And I think there's some magic in his fight with Saruman, but for the most part...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and the whole coming back from the dead, spoiler alert, for all you horrible people.
Come on!
For all you horrible, horrible people who haven't read or seen Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, if you're listening to this and you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, you have lived a very poor life.
And, come on, it's about Lord of the Rings. Anyway. Yeah.
I always wonder, you've read the books, so how do the rings work?
I read the books in middle school and haven't read them since. So, I am not the person to ask for this question. Killian, if you're listening, comment about how do the rings work. Because I'm sure you know.
I don't know, I just, remembered, the beginning of Lord of the Rings 1, they're talking about, the rings that were given to, all the elves, dwarves, humans, blah, blah, blah.
I know Galadriel and Elrond, I think, have rings. But they're not nearly as powerful as the One Ring.
That's so...
I don't know.
It's so ambiguous how magic works. I really am curious.
Yeah. But, again, unlike in Harry Potter, the rules don't really change. It feels like there is something at play. And I would be very surprised if J.R.R. Tolkien, who, wrote a whole language for all of his creatures, didn't think up, let's figure out how the magic works. But...
Yeah. Okay, what else can we talk about?
Did you see that article on IO9 that is the, 10 unlikely things that were shaped by J.R.R. the 10 most unlikely things that were influenced by J.R.R. Tolkien?
No, I did not see that.
It's interesting. I mean, some of the stuff are, okay, yeah, whatever. Apparently hippies and environmentalism was influenced by him. Rock and metal, obviously, with Led Zeppelin, because they have lots of Tolkien things.
Of course.
But one of my favorite parts of it is New Zealand, because apparently New Zealand here's what the quote is. Sure, the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movie productions have brought a lot of money and attention to the small island nation, but someone needs to explain to them that they are not actually Middle-earth. Because they aren't, and they are really acting like it.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I mean, I'm a fan of it. They've basically given up and said, you know what? Whatever. We're going to roll with it. There was that awesome... Weta built Gollum in the airport, and the airline safety videos with the hobbits.
Airline safety videos of the hobbits?
Oh, you haven't seen that? So there's one of the, I think it's Air New Zealand or something out there, for their in-flight safety videos, they just remade them to include, hobbits and elves and dwarves and orcs and stuff like that. And it's, totally Lord of the Rings themed and really cool.
That's amazing. Yeah, link that down below to everyone listening.
Exactly. It's very cool. But, have you tried, by any chance, Denny's Hobbit-themed second breakfast?
Wait, tried what?
Denny's has their Hobbit menu, which is all sorts of, Lord of the Rings-themed stuff.
Oh, my God.
All right, I'm going to look this up and read out for all of you other people who are uninformed. I actually went to it and tried one of the things and had bites of other people's stuff. And it's actually surprisingly good. All right, Denny's Hobbit.
So, in other words, after I watch Lord of the Rings premiere, I'm going to have to go the next morning to second breakfast.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, here are some of the things that are on this Hobbit-themed menu. Radagast's Red Velvet Pancake Puppies, Gandalf's Gobble Melt, Lonely Mountain Treasure, which is like a French toast dipper thing, which is actually very good. I like that. That's what I had. Bilbo's Berry Smoothie, Lone Land's Campfire Cookie Milkshake. I can't read that well enough. Build Your Own Hobbit Slam, and other things that I can't read because the print is too tiny.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, here. Okay, this actually, I didn't get it. Someone else did, and it was very delicious looking. The Hobbit Whole Breakfast. It is 2 fried eggs in the center of a grilled cheddar bun and crispy hash browns with melted shredded cheddar cheese and 2 strips of bacon.
Dang,
that sounds amazing. Yeah. So basically, I need to go back and get that. But
yeah,
I love it. It's cheesy, it's silly, it's over the top, and it's great. Thank you, Denny's. Other interesting thing that I noticed at Denny's, the later that you go, the fewer and fewer people are there, up to a point, which is around 2 p.m., when the later you stay, the more and more people show up. So, like, we got there at 1, and there was barely anyone there. By the time we left at 3, it was almost full.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know. It seems to just be a good gathering place for those who are up late at night.
There's a fantastic... This is not related at all to Lord of the Rings, but
yeah.
We've got past that.
Yeah, clearly.
Do you know what Sheetz is?
No.
It's the most amazing gas station in the entire world.
Okay.
That is just... It has, like, its own McDonald's inside of it. It's not a McDonald's. It's, like, its own food place inside of it.
Interesting.
It has all the food possible combinations you could want. And it's just this really big gas station. That's just all over the East Coast.
Wow. All right, then. So all you East Coast listeners, I'm sure know what he's talking about. I, being a West Coaster, am in the dark.
Yes.
Sheets? Is that what it's called?
With a Z.
Sheets. With a Z. Okay, well, if it's with a Z, I'm totally on board. That's all I need. Anything that ends in a Z, I'm okay with. HOBBITZEZ.
This is not our forte.
No, not so much.
We really should have got Killian on here.
We should have. Killian could carry this conversation.
So easily.
Yeah. You know, what I think we'll have to do is we'll have to do a part 2 in a week or two once we've all seen Hobbit and discuss the movie. But that's what we should
Expectations for the movie, maybe.
Oh, yeah, expectations. I expect it to be good. I expect it to be a little too long, because that's what Peter Jackson does. Again, I'm not the hugest fan of Lord of the Rings, so I am okay with the non-extended versions. But I think it'll be good. Martin Freeman is awesome in everything he does. Especially
is that Bilbo?
Yeah, he plays Bilbo. Especially Sherlock, which I just finally finished season 2 of.
I need to watch that.
I like Ian McKellen and things.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I don't know. My satisfaction with movies lately, they seem. That's gonna sound weird, but a bit too movie-ish.
Okay, explain.
I don't know. I just saw James Bond recently.
Oh, I need to see that. I didn't
really
see it.
good movie. It's just I don't know. There seemed like a lot of almost like pandering to the crowd, and just moments that were like could have been done better, but were because it was I don't know. It just felt weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've had pretty good luck with movies recently. This is far and away the year that I've seen the most movies. It's absurd. I think I've been like to the theater like 15 times.
Oh my god,
crazy!
Oh, I saw Looper finally.
It's so good.
It was good. Besides, very inconsistent, but still good.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I saw Lincoln over Thanksgiving, which I liked. It was too long. They needed to cut the last 20 minutes. But it was good, and Daniel Day-Lewis is amazing as per usual.
Yeah.
I've had pretty good luck with movies. I finally saw Moonrise Kingdom, which was super good. I think that's probably my favorite movie this year.
Interesting. Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's really good. Wes Anderson, and it's got Bill Murray and Edward Norton and a bunch of people in it, and it's very cool. I still loved Avengers. Avengers is definitely the movie I've seen the most this year. I think I've seen it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And I need to rewatch Dark Knight Rises because I only saw it once.
Yeah.
Well, that has nothing to do with Lord of the Rings in the slightest.
No.
I'm not going to cut it out, though.
We are really not good at Lord of the Rings.
No, we really aren't. whatever. I'm excited for The Hobbit. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And we can have our part 2 later where we actually discuss things. We should get Killian on for that one because we clearly need some help on this conversation.
Yeah. Wow. That's where our nerd knowledge... It's a sad day.
I need more caffeine. I think if I had drank coffee before this, I'd be better.
Isn't it like 3 there?
Yeah.
Good job.
I've become such an insane caffeine addict since coming to college.
Yeah.
But yeah, in case you couldn't tell, that conversation kind of petered out. Maybe not the most interesting of A-dubs, but you get a look behind the curtain and see what it's like when we don't know what we're going to talk about. I think this one really got to the psyche of Whipple and Wade. Better than some of the other ones have. So there you go. Think of it as a character piece, not as an actual discussion.
Oh boy.
But no, it'll be better. We'll do our part 2. Killian, you're invited for part 2. And if you don't show up, then all like 6 of our loyal fans will be disappointed. So, which is not true. There's a lot of people that like us, and you're all the coolest in the world. That sounded sarcastic because I'm tired, but it's not. You're actually really awesome. Especially if Mr. Christensen or Julia is listening, because they're awesome.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Mr. Christensen, I'm in a science fiction class right now.
You're in a science fiction class? That's awesome.
Yeah, that was nowhere near as good as his / yours.
Yeah, I had some friends. There was a class that I could have signed up for that was, I think, Technological Visions of Utopia was what it was called. And I looked at the reading list and I was like, wait, I've read all these books, and there's no way it's going to be as good as Topes and Stopes. So I didn't sign up.
Okay, on 3, A-Dub Club out.
Yep.
Yes. 1, 2, 3.
A-Dub Club out.